Hello everyone and welcome in the next video on this channel. And in this video I will show you how to create a custom scoreboard. As you see here on my right, I have the custom scoreboard which track the tills. You can change that to whatever you want. You also can change design on whatever you want. It's like a simple one. And yeah, when I till my friend, boom, I get to the first place, as you see. So yeah, everything works fine. Even if I till those bots, I still get tills. It's updates live, like after I did the till it's update. So yeah, as you see. And oh, yeah, wait, I need to, yeah. And as you see, my friend get till on the right. So yeah, you can change that to wins, to whatever you only want. As you see, everything got fine. Also I have the trigger to reset the data. As you see, I get to 0 and I get to the second place. You also can change how much players do you want to track here, like maybe 2 of them, 3, 5, 10, 12, how much you only want. But if you do 12, it will, you know, go at the bottom of the screen. So I think 3 is like as much as you want, because unfortunately we can't change the font size in the verse, so that's kinda sad. But yeah, that's what we'll be doing in today's video. And yeah, let's go to UEFN and verse and let's make this. Okay, so I'm in UEFN right now, and let's go to our verse explorer and create new verse file. Okay, verse device, and let's name it custom scoreboard system. Okay, you can name it whatever you want. No, it's I just named it that. Okay, let's bring it on our screen. Let's delete useless comments, and I will change the theme because I don't like this one. It was this one. Yeah. Okay, so we can change with creating our agent data, because we'll need it. So agent data is a class without a concrete, because we don't want any table here, so we don't need the concrete tab. Okay, we need to add UI widget, which will be I spelled wrong, which will be storing our UI widget as it said. So yeah, our UI. Okay, and next is names text block. So this is the array of text block, and this will store, wait, okay, this will store our names. So as you see on this scoreboard, was names for like player first name, second place name, and first place name. So yeah, this here we will be storing the text block with the names, so we can update them, you know, on live. Okay, next is stats text block, which also will be the array of text blocks. So this is the same, but to update the tills for player. Okay, so that's it in our agent data. And let's add edit table in our custom scoreboard system, which will be the stat text. And this is the string, and for me default value will be tills. So this is, as I saw, you can change the stat as you want, because we'll have that with tracker device. So we can just go to UEFN, place the tracker device, as you see, and the tracker device have a lot of options that you can choose from. You can add custom events, maybe, I don't know, whatever you only want, eliminations, deaths, score, fish fished, weapon fished, whatever you only want. So this is basically the text that displayed on the scoreboard, so you don't need to dig in the code to just, you know, change that in the editor. Okay, next will be the edit table. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Edit table, and this will be how much players. So this is how much players you want to display on the scoreboard. Default value is 3. You can, you know, change it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever you only want. So it's also easy to edit with the edit table. Okay, next will be the FPS, and this will be the float, and default value will be 10. So this is how much per second the scoreboard need to update. So if I type here 10, it will update 10 times a second. so every 100 milliseconds, yeah. So I think it's a great number. It's not, you know, it's perfect. You don't need to add 250 or 250 frames rate, because as you saw on the example, I had 10 FPS and it was updating, yeah, pretty fast. You can even go with 5 if you have big map and want to, you know, maximize your game performance. Okay, next is the stat tracker, which I told you that we will use the tracker device, so yeah, we'll use the tracker device to get value and everything. Okay, next we need to add var without the edit table, because here we will adding the agent data map, which require agent as a key and will provide us the agent data as value. Okay, and here we need two functions to convert agent to message and also the string to message. Okay, so first will be agent to message. We need to add tag localizes, because when we converting something to message we need the localizes. Okay, next is agent, and this is the function that will return as a message, and we're basically giving the agent in the how it's called, parentheses I guess. Okay, so next is string to message. Also need to localize this tag, but here we will need the string and type of string, and also will return a message, but this time instead of here agent we will give a string. Okay, so we provide the string that we want to convert to message, and here we provide the agent that we want to convert to message. So for example, like the agent name, because we can't do it with the default. I don't think it's default to message. Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, so now we need to add a function on player joint. Okay, that will require an agent, type void equals and return. Okay, return for now. We will get back to this later. And next is on player removed. Also we need to provide agent, type void. We don't return anything and return for now. Next is bubble sort players. Okay, and this will require to provide the players array, so arrays of player. Okay, and this will return an array of player, but the sorted one. So also we can return, or we can't return. Okay, we'll create a variable sorted players, which is the array of players, and the default value is the players that we provided, and we can return that variable. Okay, next is get best players. Okay, this also need to return a player. So wait. Okay, so this also returning as an array of players, but here we don't need to provide anything. So var, we need to also add the variable to return something. So var current best players, and this will be a type of array of players, and the default value is an empty array, so we can return that. For now we will go back to this function later. Okay, next is update UI for all players. Okay, here we need the suspense start, because it's async function, so it can work in the background like with sleep, so this function can execute not, you know, immediately, but with a delay. Okay, next will be the remove UI, and we need to provide agent, type void equals return, and the last one is init UI, which also require an agent, type void equals return. Okay, so let's back to our on player joint function. Okay, so we can remove our return yeah, and if not agent data map for our agent, so if our agent don't have the agent data map yet, so I know he don't get it okay, we want to set it up to agent data map for our agent. Okay, this will be equal to agent data with these brackets. Okay, so basically we double check if agent don't have the agent data yet, and if this is true, so if agent don't have the agent data, we set him a new agent data. Okay, and here we need to loop through all players, get play space, get players. Okay, so basically this function return us an array of all players, even the dead ones. Okay, even the spectating ones, like all of the players that currently in game. Okay, and the player is an player from all players. Okay, so we basically need to get the player from all players. Okay, and we need to remove UI for player, and we need to init UI for player. Okay, so this is because if new player joined, we need to init UI, because all the logic that adding the player and removing the player happen only in the init UI. So we call it only if this is necessary, so it like increasing to prevent the, you know, lags on the map. If we init UI and remove UI in the update for all players function, you know, the performance will not be that good. So that's why we making of that, and we need to copy that and paste that on in function on player removed. Okay, so let's go to our bubble sort players, and we need to get the n. So this is basically the sorted players dot length. Okay, so basically this is the length of our sorted players array, and if n minus 1 is greater than 0, we want to continue that, because, you know, if there's one player on the map, we don't want to sort the players because there's no need. Okay, and for y and colon equals, okay, 0 dot n minus 1. Okay, we need to do a for loop from range from 0 to our length minus 1. Okay, and we need to do another for loop with j, and from 0 to n minus y. Yeah, it's y. Minus 2. Okay, and if player A is a sorted players at the index j, and the player B from the sorted players but j plus 1. Okay, so to place. Okay, so basically getting the first player and the second player. Okay, and the stat for players A is a stat tracker, get value for our player A, and we get the stats for our, okay, so maybe call it stats B, and this is the stat tracker, get value for our player B. So we're basically getting the kills in my example. In yours can be different, like this not change, but for me we're getting the elimination value, but it depends what you set it up in the tracker. Okay, and if stats A is less than stats B, we want to do and if set sorted players at index j is equals to player B, and if set sorted players at index j plus 1 is equals to player A. So basically switching them in place, right? Okay, and we at the end of the loops we want to return the sorted players. Okay, so that's it. Now is get best players. Okay, so you can leave that, and sorted players we want to bubble sort players, and we want to provide the get play space and get players. Okay, so we're basically sorting all the players that are currently in game. Okay, so for y, and in the range from 0 to how much players, -1. Okay, so basically how much players is how much players on the scoreboard. Okay, and player is, we need to get the player from sorted players and the index y. Okay, and set current best players plus equals array to our player. Okay, so basically returning the array with our in this example 3 best players. Okay, for you it can be different. Okay, and in the update UI for all players we need to loop, and we need to add a sleep 1.0 divided by FPS, because FPS is like frame per second, so you know we just need to divide 1 by our FPS value. Okay, and to get the best players, just the get best players. Okay, and now we have the best players into for loop for all players, and this will be the, no, not this one, that play space that players, and the player is a player from all players. Okay, so we're basically getting the player from the all players, and we need to get the agent data for each player, so agent data map for our player. Okay, and we need to do another for loop for y, and we need to colon equals 0 dot dot dot, we need to add the range, so agent data dot names text block dot length -1, oh, names text block dot length -1. So we're basically getting how much players are on the scoreboard. We need to loop through that because we need to update the scoreboard for each player, and the name text block will be the agent data name text block at the index y, and we have the stats text block. Okay, so this will be the okay, let's do it that way. This will be the agent data that stats text block at the index y. Okay, and here we need to update the text, so name text block set text to agent to message to our best player. Okay, we don't get the best player because, okay, best player will be the best players at the index y. Okay, so we just, you know, getting best players in the right order, so from 0 to 2. So basically it's in combine it will give us a 3. Okay, next we need to update our stat text box, so set text to string to message, and we need to provide our stat tracker that get value for our best player. So we need to get the value for our best player. So yeah, that's it in this function. Let's go to remove UI. So if player is the player from agent, because while we're working on the UI we need to work with players, not with agent, so we need to convert our agent to a player. So player UI, and we can use the get player UI function for our player, and as you see, if we provide the agent we get the error because we need to provide the player. Okay, and we can get the widget, so this is the agent data map for our player dot and how I call that, UI widget. Okay, so we're basically getting our UI widget, and here we need to do player UI, so we need to refer to our player UI and remove widget. Okay, and we want to remove our widget because it requires a canvas, so basically a widget. As you see, we can go to our player UI and we have add widget, and remove widget. So we can add widget to like slot, and in the slot we can, no, it's the order input mode. We go to add widget to in the init UI. So basically now I can do the blueprint, but it's a very complex blueprint. So give me a second, I will think about it. Okay, so I will have my mic. Sorry. Okay, so let's go to UEFN and let's make this blueprint. But remember, the blueprint is only to see the position, and it will get you, more familiar with the UI, how it works in Verse. So let's create the user interface widget blueprint and name it test UI. So yeah, you know, if you change anything in this blueprint, nothing will really change on the player screen. It's like for only seeing the positions and everything, how everything works. Okay, so let's add an overlay first, and we want it on the right, so let's add it on the right. And let's add its size to content on the alignment 0.5, 0.5, and the position is to maybe -225. Yeah, sounds good. Okay. Next is the image, as this will be our background, so I will go with black and 0.4 opacity. And the alignment will be full, and the padding to -20. Yes. Yes, okay. The next will be the stat box, the main stat box, where we store everything. Okay, so the stat box will also fulfill with the... Wait, this is orientation horizontally. Okay, I think, yeah, should be great. Okay, the next is another stat box. Which will have the numbers one, so this will be the vertical. Okay, and let's duplicate that 3 times, but actually, okay, all of them should be here. And in the first stat box we need to add the text block, and this will be the number. Okay, so let's duplicate that. This will be the first one. Okay, this will be the second one, and this will be the third one. Okay, the first number will have the more padding, so at the bottom I will go like with 10 padding to see the difference between them. Okay, let's copy that and paste that in here and in here. The second one will be the player name. Okay, and the third one will be the stats. So for us it will be kills in code, but I will name it stats here. Okay, and the stat box will need a padding on the right and on the left. 5, I think, should be enough. 5 and 5 and 5 and 5 to see the difference between them here. Okay, and the text justification, justification to the center, so all the text will be on the center here also. Okay, and here let's do something like that, maybe name, and name, and the stats here will be, I don't know, something like that. It's like some random one. Okay, I think everything looks great. Maybe the border here is too much. Maybe let's go with -10 padding. Oh, I think all the padding disappeared. Yeah. Okay, we need to add it manually. So -10, -10, -10. And okay, yeah, that looks better. So yeah, that's, I think, our UI. Let's go to code and let's add it. Okay, let's open our Verse code. And let's add the first thing. So okay, maybe first we need to access our agent data, so maybe we can just copy here the agent data for update UI for all players. Okay, but we need to provide here the agent because we don't have the player, and we can get the best players from here. No, this is actually here. Okay, best players. And set agent data that names text block equals to empty array, because we will add it not with index but with, you know, plus equals. So we need to, every time when we init UI, we need to reset the array to 0. Okay, and first thing is the main overlay. It is the overlay equals to overlay. Okay, so this is our main overlay as you see here. Okay, next thing is background, which is our color block. You can add the texture block if you want some image at the background. I will go with just a color, and the default color for me will be the black one, and we need to specify using first org named colors. Oh, it's not copy. Okay, I think I have it now. Yeah, and also the default opacity to 0.4. Okay, next is main stack box, which is the stack box equals to start box, and the orientation will be the orientation that horizontal. Okay, so this is basically the start box here, the main one. Okay, the next thing will be the number start box, which is the start box equals to start box, but now with orientation vertical. Okay, we can copy that 3 times because we have numbers, player's name, and the stats, all with the same orientation. Okay, next is for number text block, which is the text block equals to text block. Okay, and the default text is string to message, and we will have the number. So this is basically here, this number. Okay, and default text, default, I think I spelled default wrong. Yeah, okay, the number, and the default text color will be white, because the default, wait, I didn't spell it wrong. No, I forgot R. Okay, because the default color of the text is black, so we want to change that to white. And the default justification will be the text justification equal dot center. Okay, let's copy that 3 times, and let's change here to name, player name, and the stat. Okay, and in player name we need to change string to no, because it's actually the text. Okay, so player name, and here will be our stat text. So this is basically the text you can edit with the editable, like in the editor. Okay, so let's add everything to our overlays and start boxes. So main overlay, add widget, and overlay slot, these brackets, and widget to background. Okay, horizontal alignment to horizontal alignment dot fill. Okay, and this will be the vertical one, so vertical alignment, and also here we need to change that to vertical alignment. Oh, never mind. And also to fill. Okay, and our padding, we set the 10 minus 10, so margin left -10. That's 0 because it's a float, so we need to add the decimals. The top is also -10. The right is also -10, and the bottom is also the -10. Okay, as you see here, we have the background and we have the -10 everything and the fill. Okay, so we can just copy that because we need to add our main stat box also to our overlay, and it's have the also fill. Okay, so we can leave that on fill, and we don't have padding in this one. Yeah, we don't set the padding because there's no need to do that. Okay, and to our main stat box we need to add widget. Now this is the stat box slot, and the widget will be the number text box. Okay, we can copy the horizontal and vertical alignment because it's have that. And the padding will be the margin left will be the 5.0, the top will be the 0.0, the right will be the 5.0, and the bottom will be 0.0. Okay, so let's copy that 3 times, and we need to add the player name text block and the stat text block. Okay, so next we need to add our number text block. I should add the stat boxes. Yeah, so let's add the stat boxes. Sorry for that. We need to add the text to our stat boxes. So we can copy one of here and just change the main stat box to the number stat box and to number text block. And I think we have the fill also here. Yeah, fill, and with the bottom 10. So the left will be 0 and the bottom, and also right will be 0 and the bottom will be 10. Okay, so let's copy that 3 times. And we need to add to our player name stat box and to our stat box. Okay, and we need to change also the text boxes. Oh, yeah, I spelled wrong, sorry for that. And we have the player text block, player name text block, and the stat text block. Okay, we have all of them. And now we can do a for loop because we need to, if we, add each player manually, it will take a lot of time and a lot of line of code, so we do it manually with a for loop. So we need to do a for loop with range from 0 to how much players, -1, and get the player from our best players and add the index y. Okay, and for player number text block will be the text block equals to text block. Okay, with the default text will be the string to message, and our player number text block will be the hash and the y +1 because we started from 0, and on our scoreboard we don't want players to start with 0 but from 1, so we need to add +1. Okay, next is default text color, which will be the white, and the default justification, so I will just copy that default justification to center. Okay, and that's it. We can copy that 3 times again, and this will be the player name text block. We have the player name. No, I know I did the error. Oh, because probably we use that. Yeah. Okay, so I will just do the name text block here and just add the name. Okay, so here will be the player name, and here will be the player stat. Okay, so let's go with start because we will use the string to message, so it will be easier, and we need to add the brackets and stat tracker that get value for our player. Okay, so this is the player here. and here we need to change to agent to message, and provide our player. Okay, so that's it in this variables. Next we need to add two number startports. So basically, okay, we can just copy this free, so it will be easier. And I think, yeah, all of them had fill, but the padding was different. We have the bottom to 0 and we have the left or top. No, we don't have left. We have any padding? No, we don't. Okay, so basically we don't need padding. Never mind. Okay, and here we need to add player number, player name, and the player stat block, player stat text block. Where is the text? Here also no, okay, small issues. Okay, and after all we need to set agent data that names text block plus equals array with the player's name block, name set block. Okay, need to copy that, and we have had the stats text block. Okay, and we need to add the player stats text block. Okay, and we need to exit our for loop, so basically do the if statement right there. Okay, not, you know, with the tab right here, but delete this tab. We need to be at the same line as this for loop. Okay, and we basically can go to the remove UI, copy this part, because we need to get the player UI to add this widget to the player UI, and we need to add new canvas, which is the canvas. Okay, slots, which is the array, and we need to add the canvas slot. Okay, we widget of our main overlay, because as you see we can just hide it all into the overlay, so easier because we don't need to add every single element with the direct position, but only set the position to the overlay and everything will, you know, get the position automatically. Okay, the anchors is, if I'm not mistaken, it's 1.0.5, I guess. Yeah, I did it right. So anchors, and the minimum is vector 2 with x 1.0 and the y 0.5. Okay, and we need to add the library special math, basically they're using to use vectors. Okay, and the maximum is also the vector 2 with basically the same x and y. Okay, now we need to add the offsets, which is the margin. So let's copy this padding, we don't want to type it again. Okay, and what here we have? We have the minus 225, and I think on top it will be 60 to the map, align to the map. Yeah, I will go with 60 alt y. Okay, so the left will be the minus 225 and the top will be the minus 60. Yeah, maybe minus, yeah, minus 60. Okay, yeah, the maps should be like that. As you see here, we have the left, top, right, and bottom. So as you see, it's, you know, from the top to the to the bottom. Like here is from the top to the bottom, but in our margin is left, top, right, bottom. Okay, so it's, you know, easy to understand. Okay, the alignment is the vector 2 with x 0.5 and y 0.5. The order is 0 and the size to content is equals to true. So here we have size to content true and alignment 0.5 and 0.5. Okay, and here we need to, in the if statement, so next step after if, player UI, add widget, and we need to add the new canvas. Okay, and set agent data dot UI widget is equals to new canvas. Okay, so here we can remove it. Oh, but I did not finish the remove UI function. Sorry, we need to add the widget, set visibility to widget visibility dot hidden. Okay, because remove widget sometimes bad and happen after sometimes, so we just basically can use hidden function, like the widget visibility hidden, and it's happened immediately. So yeah, it's better. Like we need to use both to remove that widget. We don't want millions of widget, because if we hide it there, widget is still there but not visible. Okay, so let's finish our onBegin function. So into loop for all the players, so I will just copy this thing and fire up the onPlayerJoint for our player. And here we need to subscribe to get play space, player added event, subscribe to onPlayerJoint, and let's copy that and let's use the player removed event and subscribe to onPlayerRemoved. Okay, so you can probably ask why we have onPlayerJoint twice and not onPlayerRemoved twice. Why is that? Why is that? onPlayerJoint we have twice because this will fire to the players that are currently in game. Okay, so the players that are, you know, between the rounds or join between their game start, and this one happen to the player that join game in progress. Okay, so this happen like when players are in game and like between rounds, or you know, join between the game start, like in this countdown. And here we subscribe to the players that, you know, when player joined, a new player joined when game is in progress, will subscribe to this function for that player. Okay, and we need to spawn to update UI for all players. Okay, because this is the async function, we want it to, you know, work in the background. And okay, I forgot because it will cost you a lot of performance, so let's, you know, make that change. So var and at loop expire time, and this is the float and 300, and var current loop time is a float is equals to loop expire time. Okay, and why I'm adding this is because the loop have some strange things, like when the loop constantly happen, like as you see here, we don't have any breaks and it constantly happen every single second. After like an hour, you know, your game will feel that your players will feel that the performance of the game, you know, decreases. But if we break loop and start it again after a certain amount of time, it is, you know, it will increase the performance. I don't know why is that, but you know, it is what it is. So we need to set current loop time minus equals the 1.0 divided by FPS. Okay, and if current loop time is less or equals 0.0, we want to spawn this function again and break it. So don't worry, the players won't even notice that this function was broken, because, you know, it will work normal, but you know, it will just increase the performance of the game. So we can build our reverse code, and let's go to UEFN and /session. Oh no, we need to go to UEFN and set it up. Sorry, I forgot about that. Okay, so let's put our reverse device. We want to set text to bit heals. How much players free? FPS 10. Yeah, I will go with 10. And the strat tracker will be our tracker, but we need to configure our tracker. So start to track eliminations. Yeah, target value we can go with max. Assign on game start, yes. Assign yes. Okay, and sharing individual. Okay, when target is reached, do nothing. Okay. Show on HUD, no. Show progress of charter completion ceremony, no, we don't want that. Player elimination count, yeah, and non-player elimination count also, because I want to test it on the guards. So if you don't want the AI, you know, these guards or whatever player kills count, you don't need to enable this option. And use persistence, yes. Autosave, autoload. So this is basically the saving. We want to save it between the sessions. Okay, and I will put a guard spawner so I can test it out. Give them the different index so I can shoot them, and some item to assault rifle. That can be this one. Okay, and also I will place some item spawner so I can actually shoot them. And to 0, and item list also some assault rifle, but some better one. And the okay, max ammo. Okay, so I think everything should work now. Let's launch a session and test it out. Okay, so I'm loaded into the session and I tested out, everything works fine. As you see, I have 8 kills. Okay, so let's pick up the star and let's kill some guards. Okay, boom boom boom, boom boom boom. As you see, the kills, like, I have the 10 FPS, but as you see, it's, you know, I kill the guy and it's happened immediately, so you don't even notice it. If you want a better performance of your game, even better performance of your game, so you can change that to 5 FPS, and I don't think the player will really notice that change. And as you see, I can kill the guards and I get the kills, and when I end the game, start it again. Okay, as you see, I have 21 kills, everything works fine, and the player name is, you know, displayed by my name, the kills and the number. And also, as you see on the beginning, I have the 2 players, and the UI was, you know, ideally for 2 players like the background, and here is for 1 player, so it's not, you know, some blank space without any text. And it's, you know, when you play a joint, and it will, you know, resize. So yeah, that was it in today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something new and will use it in your maps, because I think it's a nice code, not gonna lie. And I hope you understand everything I told about, because I was trying like the dart, but I'm not, I swear. So yeah, that was in today's video. And yeah, if you like this, you can leave a like and subscribe. I will really appreciate that, because yeah, I will really appreciate that. And oh, he hit me from that far. And if you want the full code from that video and from any videos on my channel, you can join a Discord on my in the description. It's completely free, don't need to invite any friends or whatever. You can just join and take the code for free on the tutorials channel. And also, if you want some insights, some, you know, for what I'm doing and for what I'm working on right now, you can also follow me on Twitter, and, you know, link is in the description. So that was in today's video, and see you guys in the next one.